Hello, high levelers across the world. Thanks for jumping in today. And if you are seeing us on your news feed, say hello. We are real humans. This is not AI generated. We are getting ready to do our day two of this workshop, the AI business partner model. And we've taken the community by storm, in my opinion, Joel. We've covered a lot of different things. Today, we're going to get a bit more nitty gritty into the systems and structures of how to, really deliver the business model across the board. For those of you that are watching, we should be live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and we're testing out some cool things in on Twitch for all of you that are a bit younger and you're gamers and stuff like that. We're twitching right now. So either way, wherever channel you're watching from, what I would love for you to do is tell us where you're from, what city and state, zip code, social. No, I'm just kidding. Just tell us where your city is, and it's a great way to connect with fellow high levelers. Joel, welcome back, man. I love that you said yes, and you absolutely crushed day one. A plethora of content. How are you feeling?
Paulson, I am never better. I've never felt better. When you see the engagement from, so I spent a lot of time yesterday watching day one's recording and going through a lot of the comments, and that stuff motivates me. That motivates and invigorates me to say, wow, these people are really getting it. The light bulb moments are clicking off. I got a bunch of direct messages from yesterday of people who were joined live. They pinged me on LinkedIn and Facebook, and so it was really cool to connect with those of you who reached out, and I encourage you to do that. It's just, it helps put a name, put a face to the name, but also a lot of light bulb moments are going off. So I'm pumped, I'm amped, I'm bringing my A game for day two, and I'm ready to serve.
I appreciate it. So those of you that were here yesterday, give me a one in the chat, just so I know who was here yesterday. Give me a two in the chat if today is your kind of day one, essentially, even though we're in day two already. Give me a two in the chat if this is your first time. And let me see the chat here. I've got it on. Okay, cool. We've got a ton of you, right? Let's see. Michael says Reno, Nevada. David from Costa Rica. We got Rob from California. Cassandra staying up late from UK. Thank you, my friend. Isa from North Carolina. Angel from Vegas. Wisconsin in the house. Pennsylvania. Atlanta. Houston. Let's see. We had a high level hangout yesterday in Houston. I don't know if you saw that, Quentin, but looking forward to seeing you. I'm in Houston myself. Maryland in the house. Okay, cool. A ton of you from all over. So I see few people saying, "Hey, this is my first day." So Joel, if you don't mind, first of all, can you do a 30-second quick recap of who you are, and then we'll do a 1 minute recap of what we covered yesterday, if you're okay with that.
For sure. I've been in the marketing game, the digital marketing game, for over 11 years now. The short story of how I've gotten to where I have been is where I am right now is I built my first digital product. It was an ebook. Quickly needed to, this is before I learned digital marketing, but I had this passion. I said, you know what, I'm going to write a book. That became my first digital product. That led to some consulting, and that ultimately led me to learn digital marketing, because I did not know digital marketing at that time. I was just writing a book and selling it on Amazon. Fell in love with digital marketing, fell in love with funnels, and most importantly, I fell in love with webinars. So webinars were my jam for a very long time. I launched the webinar agency in 2014. Been blessed to work with some of the top marketers in the industry, blessed to call them friends, clients, partners, and did that for 10 or 11 years. Along the way, I discovered a bunch of different agency models. Some were great. I think all have their place in time. But ultimately, what I discovered was what I'm calling now the digital product partner model. I discovered it in the first form in 2016, where I was charging, anywhere from $5,000 to $40,000 for a project setup fee. And it was great, but I was always on the client hamster wheel. So I was always chasing new clients. So in 2016, I tried a different model, and that helped me generate $18,000 net to me, $36,000 for the entire campaign in just 7 days. And that was the genesis of the digital product partner model. So from that point on, I still continue to do a little bit of ad hoc agency work, but a strong portion of my focus went to going down this product partner model. And that's what we shared yesterday, right? Because when you realize that you don't have to constantly chase clients and you can go deeper with a select few clients, and you can, like, the market potential is just, I don't want to say endless because that would be over exaggeration, but it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Plus, with AI, being able to get a lot of this stuff done and bringing it to market, there's a huge blue ocean opportunity right now for people to take advantage of this, and it will raise your floor of what the minimum earnings that you will take home, and it gives you an unlimited ceiling. It gives you a limitless ceiling. So I'm excited to break that down here today in more detail. Yesterday we really worked on you guys. I wanted you to understand what this opportunity was. I wanted you to understand what you needed to do to transform your thinking. How many of you guys, if you're in the chat right now, right, comment bakery if you know what I'm talking about, right? Or baker, comment baker if you were here on day one and know what I'm talking about, and baking new pies. And if that was a light bulb moment shift for you, I'd love to hear you just sound off in the chat, because that was the whole purpose of what we wanted to do yesterday, is to shift your thinking from trying to position yourself as a service provider, which we are still providing a service, but reframing the lens in which you view the world as someone who can help bake new pies. You're not taking from someone else. Why not be multiplicative and create a new pie together? And if you understand that vision, client acquisition, partner acquisition will be effortless. You will not face the typical sales resistance that you do when you're trying to sell regular agency services. Look at that. We got tons of bakers in here. Look at all my bakers. That's all. That's awesome. So, but that was the whole goal of yesterday. We focused on you. Today, now we're taking action. So we're gonna really get into the nitty gritty. I've got 3 tools that we're gonna be sharing with you to help make this effortless and easy. If you haven't yet, make sure you grab the high level snapshot, which we've given to everybody who's been joining. I know that there's going to be a QR code, or Paulson will share it somewhere, but
Yep.
make sure you
Look
grab
at it.
that snapshot. We'll be going into deeper detail here today, along with a couple of other tools to really make this a seamless process and give you the highest opportunity for success.
Yeah, I love that. And the biggest takeaway from me from yesterday, Joel, from everything you shared is instead of doing the standard agency model and pitching a client regular services, what you're doing is bringing in a whole new revenue line, building a whole new set of new recipes and pies, and creating a new table and saying, hey, can we digitize an expertise that you have, whether it's in a format of a course, PDF, or launch of something, and add on to what they're already doing, and then grabbing equity on that model instead of selling retainers. So
Mm,
there's a lot of opportunity there. And just like yesterday, I'll tell you, our goal is not to tell you that you're going to go make a bunch of money. This is just a total revenue disclaimer. This is really hard work, and these are unusual results. And as we present this together, our hope is that we inspire you from the businesses that we have created. And Joel, being a previous agency owner from 2014 onwards, I remember in like 2016 hearing about your agency, the webinar agency, like you were leading the industry in one of the, up and coming things. It's like just like how you guys feel about AI today, webinars were a thing where it was like, oh wow, that's it's possible to do evergreen webinars. In 2015, 2016, I remember Joel leading the conversation back then. Joel, if you don't mind, let's just dive right in
yep.
to the content we have
Yep.
and start sharing slides and go through with it, because I
Yep.
don't want to waste too much time, things that people can just watch on replay if that's okay with you.
For sure. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Be active in the comments, guys. We need to hear your feedback. It gives us energy and also gives us clarity on what we need to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Let's just make sure everything is working here properly. I'm actually going to share a different screen. No, you know what? Let's do this one here. Okay. Share. Okay, Paulson, can you see it? Because I've lost.
Add to the screen. Sweet. Yeah, if you could
I'll
drop.
make it bigger, but can you see the
Okay.
slide?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
I can see the slide.
Okay.
And let me go ahead and throw up
Oh,
our
1 second.
QR code.
Okay, 1 second, guys. Here we go. Let's do. All right. I think we should be good. Can you see it? Should be full screen now.
Absolutely. Yeah,
All right.
we're
Let's
good
go.
to go.
Okay, so make sure you're active in the comments. I cannot actually how this is set up. I cannot see. Oh, I can see this comments. Never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go into day 2 here, and today is gonna be a lot of execution. Okay, now full context. It took me 7 days to teach what I'm teaching you here in about an hour. So I'm gonna go relatively quick, and I hope you appreciate. I cannot go into every single detail, crunching everything down an hour, but I think you guys are smart. Some of these things that I'll be sharing with you, like you'll have the entire snapshot template, be able to import into your account. You just got to tweak some things. So a lot of that stuff I will skip over. Like if I'm going over emails, I'm not going to read every single piece of copy and say, this is why this works. Like you're going to have to use some creativity here and some of your brain power. You're all intelligent humans, but we're going to go over all the frameworks and the systems here today. So we covered the foundation yesterday, and today we're talking about execution. So there's going to be 3 core things that we talk about here today. Number 1, we're going to talk about the shortcut to create offers that sell themselves. Because if you, out of curiosity, right, from those of you who are on day 1, how many of you actually took action and used that script to reach out to your dream 10? Right, or reached out to any number of people? How many of you got any sort of traction with that lead generation script? Comment me in the chat if you did and you took action, you got some feedback and you've got some leads. I got some DMs from people yesterday who said they've already got a laundry list of people who are potential partners, and they've gotten that momentum. So I'd like to hear from you guys in the chat if that was you as well. When you start to reach out to these people, you need to be able to create the offer for them, right? So like once they say, yeah, I'm interested, I have something that I think that we can sell and we can partner together with. So I'm going to give you the AI prompt that I use to generate winning offers in any niche. Now, mind you, I do this as lead generation for my own partner agencies. So for my own partnership clients. Okay, so this stuff works. So I'm going to give you that script and that prompt in the first part, because this is what you're going to send to your leads. Like, okay, cool. Once you get the idea that they have, you need to convert that idea into an offer framework so they can start to see, oh, I see how this starts to go. Okay. LaShawn said, I have appointments the rest of this week. Excellent. I hope that means you have these appointments in the lead generation script. Cool. So next, after we go over like the offer AI prompt that I'll give you, that's going to be in ChatGPT. Then we're going to go over the 10-minute profit template funnel and high-level snapshot that I use to validate these offers quickly. This is going to be plug and play for you guys. And we're showing you how to create upsells for profit. And I'm going to show you how to scale. And the final piece of the puzzle that you guys are going to need to know is, well, okay, I've got the funnel template. I've got the offer creation, AI prompt. How do I test these offers with ads? So I'm going to give you a swipe file, and I'm going to show you my offer validation framework that I use for all of my digital product partners when we're validating these offers to convert low ticket offers at the push of a button and validate them for $100 less. Does that sound good? Everybody ready to rock and roll? Type me in the chat if that sounds good to you. And let's dive right into it. So part number 1, AI offers that sell themselves. So this is the shortcut. Like back in the day, you used to need to be able to really have offer muscles and be a strategic copywriter, a strategic go-to market specialist to be able to take somebody's idea and craft that into something that the cold market, that the general population is going to be wanting to market and sell themselves, or market and buy, respond to an offer. The number one reason that your partners are not doing so is because they missed that skill. Okay. The reason why your partners are not launching their own products isn't because they lack experience. It's because they don't know what to sell. Okay. Business owners are very, very busy people. This is why, like, I've taught entrepreneurs and business owners how to market and how to sell their own products and services. And it is very, very challenging. Okay. Because most people in the expert space, I'll call them experts, that's the broad market, they just want to teach, right? So teaching is their skill set. It's not marketing and sales. That is a big gap. It's a big chasm to overcome when you're teaching non-marketers how to market and sell. So no matter how many AI tools are out there to help that general population market and sell, the strong majority of them, the overwhelming majority, still will not do it because let's say they do create it themselves and they do get it to market. Well, they still have to run the entire business. Like their passion is not marketing. So that's very challenging for them. It's not their passion. They just want to teach. They want to educate. They want to serve. So even if they do get it live and they start making sales, optimizing and getting more and more and more skills and scaling it, that's not their superpower, guys. So an objection that I hear from a lot of people is like, oh, well, AI's out here. Why don't they just go do it themselves? And you know what? Some of them will, but it is a very, very small fraction. And so the market size is still incredibly huge for you guys who love this and who can see the forest through the trees, and you can use AI to make your job infinitely easier, and you can use high level and the templates to make your job infinitely easier because you have that superpower of seeing what they can't see. Does that make sense? So
Absolutely.
no matter what AI tools come out here, unless everything becomes totally autonomous and totally automated, which I think it could happen, but I don't think it will happen. I think we are always going to need human to human interaction, but AI will make your job as the marketer infinitely easier to execute on this stuff. So what they are missing isn't content. They're not missing tools. They're not missing AI. They need clarity. That's the only thing that they really need. So here's the prompt that I use within ChatGPT or any AI tool. We're just going to demo ChatGPT right now, but any large language model will give you something similar. But this is what I use to when I've got a potential partner on the line. It's like, okay, cool. Well, let's map out your offer so you can see it. And when you map this out and you get them to visually see what's possible, they're in, guys. They're in. A lot of them are in. Like you don't even need to do this step. Like this is just kind of like a bonus. And if you do move forward, you will need to map out the offer. But some of you might need to show them something. You might want to show them something about what's possible. And if they see this, they're going to be in. So here's the prompt, and this will be included in your resources. So whatever you want to do, take a screenshot. I don't care. But this will be given to everybody in the replay and in the resources.
Yeah, you
But
just got to make sure you have a high level account so you get all the resources like a snapshot, yesterday's scripts that Joel provided, today's scripts, and a lot of the things that we're getting ready to show. So that QR code you see is your opportunity to jump into a trial as part of this in case if you don't have high level. If you're an existing user, don't worry, we'll provide the links directly to you via email and links after we're done today's
yeah,
session, just so you're aware.
yeah. And guys, the amount that you will see that's possible with a high level, it would be you'd be a fool not to use what we're giving you here today because this is truly a business in a box that is replicatable. Like, and if you go to the agency level and you've got these sub accounts, which is what I do, it's like push button, clone, boom, new offer is live. Let's go. Like, we're going to go through the automations, we're going to go through the workflows and the funnels. So, grab a trial. If you're already in there, awesome. But this is truly the fastest path to success. Okay. So, the prompt. You're a go to market specialist. Your job is to create 3 ideas for a low ticket front end digital product, whether it be a PDF, a mini course, a challenge, or a checklist based on this niche. And you're going to insert the niche. Include a core promise, positioning, and 2 to 3 bonuses that overcome buyer objections. Also, provide 1 upgrade offer priced 4 times the front end price. That's it. That's your core prompt of what's going to start to give you the visual that your partners will need to make this a reality. So I'm going to open this up here and I am going to just click on this. Nope, I don't have it open yet. So if we go through, I want to share with you like what the output looks like. And so if you've got a Go High Level account, this link will be shared with you and you can actually see this, but here it is, right? Here's the prompt. and I just did a sample niche so you can start to see visually what this is going to look like. And so the example niche that I did was productivity for entrepreneurs. Include a core promise, positioning, and 2 to 3 bonuses. So here we go. Boom. Here are 3 low ticket front end digital product ideas for productivity for entrepreneurs niche, each designed to attract buyers, deliver quick wins, and open the door to a higher ticket backend. Now, here's a caveat. You might approach a potential partner who already has like a mechanism or a methodology or a system in place. Like, I can't go any more broad than this. Productivity for entrepreneurs. Like, that is a very, very broad idea. Most people will have some sort of system that they've already developed, like how they got a result for themselves. So if they do, just throw it in here, right? It's like, hey, based on this niche, how to get 10 hours worth of work done in 1 hour using my time collapsing system for entrepreneurs. So add as much detail as you want here, but if we are going broad, it's still going to work because it will give some ideas for your potential partner. Make sense? So use your creativity. I think almost all of you know the power of what AI can do. So we're going broad here, but visualize what this is going to be able to do for you. So here's the first idea. Number 1, the 60-minute productivity reset. Here's the format. It's going to be a mini course, a video, and a workbook. Price it at $19. Core promise. This is what people really need to see. Reset your workflow and regain 3 to 4 hours per day using this 1-hour productivity system built for overwhelmed entrepreneurs. Okay, that sounds pretty good. Positioning, a time-efficient solution for entrepreneurs who feel scattered, procrastinate on important tasks, and constantly start their days reactive instead of focused. Not bad. Now, bonuses. What is the purpose of a bonus, right? Go ahead and enter in the chat below. Like, when you look at a sales page and you see bonuses on a sales page or on an offer page, like on a webinar, what do you guys think that bonuses are really designed to do? Okay, go ahead and enter in the chat what you think it is. Bonuses are designed to do 2 things. Number 1, increase perceived value of the product. And number 2, overcome potential objections that they might have to the core product. Now, designing great bonuses is the upsell. It's not necessarily for upsells, right? It's to overcome objections and add perceived value. This was not easy to do as a market strategist. Like, when I was designing webinar offers, for instance, coming up with the bonuses was challenging. It was very, very challenging. But if you instruct AI to say, hey, listen, our bonuses are designed to overcome whatever their natural objection is to the front end offer, boom, we have unlocked the conversion slide. Okay. Like, we are now pushing them so much closer to that conversion mechanism. So all of these bonuses are meant to handle these objections, right? So the daily dominator checklist, a printable 1-pager that breaks down your perfect day into morning, deep work, admin, and recovery blocks. Pretty sweet. Anti-distraction toolkit, 7 browser extensions, tech tweaks, and mindset shifts to instantly cut noise and reclaim mental bandwidth. Audio companion, clarity in chaos, a 10-minute guided audio to start each morning with purpose. Okay. And it overcomes these objections. So you've got your core promise here, your core front end offer, and 2 to 3 potential bonuses to make sure this becomes a true no-brainer for anyone to follow. Make sense? All right. So that is, and then what's the next thing that we do? This is important, right? So our upsell offer is how we are really going to start to add profit to our system. Because if I'm selling a $7 front end or a $17 front end, highly unlikely, I have seen it happen, but it's highly unlikely that you are going to be profitable selling just a $7 or $17 front end offer with paid traffic. This is why you have to have some sort of upsell, at least one in place that is ideally 3 to 5 times the initial price of your front end offer. And again, upsells used to be very difficult to design, but now we've got AI to help us with that. So for this one, we've got a $76 front end or upsell offer, which is the 30-day momentum sprint, right? A guided 4-week productivity challenge with weekly check-ins, accountability templates, and direct feedback. Helps buyers actually implement and optimize the system. So I want to pause real quick because when you present this to a potential partner, they now start to see the forest through the trees. They start to see what's possible because you guys might not end up creating exactly this, but for the expert, the product creator, they can start to see, oh, you know what? Well, I can create a checklist. That's super easy. Anti-distraction toolkit, 7 browser extensions. Well, I might not be able to do that, but I've got something else to help them with anti-distraction, right? Audio companion, clarity and chaos, right? A 10-minute guided audio to start each morning with purpose based on high performance coaching groups. Holy crap, I never thought about that, right? I can easily create that. So this is more so about showing what's possible for your product owner and your product creator. And it also starts to get you in the positioning mindset of like, hey, this is what we need to be successful or something around those lines. Because you are the builder, right? You are inviting people to have a seat at your table. And when you invite, you guide and you lead. You take a stance of leadership. You take a stance of presence. Okay, we're leading through clarity. We are leading through direction, and so you are instructing them as like this is really where we need to go. The roles have reversed in this position. Instead of you waiting for them to give you instructions, hey, I need this, yada yada yada, make these changes, yada yada. No, hey, Mr. Expert, this is what I need from you. You guys see that positioning shift? And you bring this to them and say, this is what we got to do, right? Give me an amen in the chat if you start to see how you take a stance of power and leadership. And that's how you maintain control of this entire engagement.
I love what you said yesterday. You said, I'm not asking, I'm permitting, right? It's a
Yes.
mindset shift that I think we covered in how the business model is positioned. You're not coming in, you know, begging to do retainer services. You're building a whole business with them.
Yep. 100%. Right. And the level you lead from determines the life that you live. And this is leading from that force multiplier model. Okay, so this is just one option. Okay, one front end option. Now, here's where I'm going to go a little bit faster. I went deep into this first one, but we've got 3 full options here, right? Here's the second one. The
If
one
you don't,
page.
I'm sorry, if you don't mind, Joel, can you right click and make the letters a bit bigger by chance? I think
Let's
you
do it.
could right click and go zoom. Perfect. Yeah.
Yep, you bet.
Give me a one in the chat if that's better for you.
Awesome.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
So that was just one idea. Here's the second idea, the one-page business focus map, an interactive PDF toolkit and walkthrough video. Awesome. Get total clarity on your next 90 days in under 30 minutes with a one-page focus map that replaces your bloated to-do list. For visionary entrepreneurs who draw on ideas need a structured yet visible, flexible plan to align their goals, offers, and priorities. Cool. And the third one, the entrepreneur's energy stack. Okay. PDF guide and audio protocols. Unlock your peak daily energy using science-backed habits that require less than 15 minutes per day. Built for solo founders and operators who feel drained, burnt out, or foggy, but don't want a complicated health protocol. So I think you guys are starting to see it, right? So this is the prompt that I use, and I will send this to my potential partners, and I'll give them the full outline. And I say, this is what I came up with. Based on what I know you can teach, here's what I think is going to be best for our options in developing a front end product that scales. Any questions before I move on? Paulson, should I save the questions for the end, or you want me to pause in the middle and do questions? That's probably a better question for me to ask you.
Well, I think we can do both relevant to what we're, going through. So if there's
Cool.
any clarity that we need to address now, I'm happy to. I don't see comments. It's loading up a bit slower, but let's keep going.
Yeah,
As
let's
I
keep going.
see
All
any
right.
questions, yeah.
Cool. So you guys can use this prompt. You can use this as part of your outreach sales process when people are interested. Like, hey, I've got an idea, but I don't really know what it looks like. Boom, you've got this prompt. It's like, hey, give me a couple minutes or give me a day or so, and I'll map something out. I'll put this on a Google Doc and I'll send it to them, we'll hop on a call and I'll walk them through it. And it's like, no one's going to say no to this. Okay, awesome. So let's go back into the slides. All right, so that's the offer prompt. Okay, the one-shot offer prompt to really outline your core ideas. But now what we're going to do is we're going to go through the high level, what I call it, the 10-minute profit template for low ticket offers, because once you do this a couple of times, it should not take you more than 10 minutes. I'll call it 10 minutes per step. Okay, not 10 minutes overall, but 10 minutes per step to get this set up and really start to map out what these low ticket offers look like. So from a high level overview, our acquisition system looks like this. We're going to drive traffic to a low ticket front end offer. And this can be anywhere from, I say $10 on here, but it can really be $3 or $5. I've seen those work as well. So between $3 to $100, I've done up to $97 on the front end. And that's what we're going to sell directly. Think mini ebook or short 20-minute training. The very next thing that we're going to do is we're going to drive them to an automated upsell. So this is going to be priced anywhere between $100 to $1,500. I know I say $1,000 here, but I've got clients and partners that we're doing $1,500 immediate upsells for. And this is where our profit comes in. Okay. Very, very rare that we are going to be able to make profit on the front end offer, and that's okay. This is our customer acquisition. This is our audience building engine. This is where we start to make some of our profit, which gives us the ability to reinvest into more ads, okay, and scale. So anywhere from $100 to $1,500. I actually sold a $2,000. Personally, I sold a $2,000 upsell in my own funnel for 4 or 5 years. And so there's a lot of leeway here for that automated upsell. Once we do that, we start to acquire an email list. And this is the real asset here. And then what we do is we tack on an email follow-up system. And this is where we sell premium products. Now, I put premium on the back end. You don't have to sell premium products. If you want to, you might have a partner who only wants to sell, low touch digital products. And maybe they are happy to just create more and more and more trainings or workshops. So I like to do premium offers at $2,000 to $10,000 where that expert will provide some sort of coaching over 4, 6, 8, 12 weeks. You can design that however you want. But some people just only want to do low ticket offers, lower ticket offers, $100, $500, $1,000, you name it. So the framework that I'm going to give you follows this. So in the snapshot, it follows this flow right here. But put on your creative, I don't want to ever put you in a prison. Okay. I don't ever want to put you in a box saying you can't think outside of this box because you no longer become a marketer if you think that way. This is how I do it. But you can also just keep emailing and selling lower ticket products on the back end.
Yeah.
But this is
Joe,
yes.
I got a couple of questions for you to clarify, and
Mhm.
I kind of know what it is, but I want to make sure for those of folks that are brand new, they understand why we do certain things a certain way.
Mhm.
Joel, what's the on the micro front end offer, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want somebody to pay you at least $1 versus making it free or zero?
Oh, super easy. Super easy. You can make lead magnets work, right? A webinar is a lead magnet. Okay. It's give me your email, go to a free training. At the end, I'll pitch something. Those are probably the most difficult things to get to convert. Number one, because there's low commitment. When someone's just giving you an email address, right? It's very, very low commitment. And even lower commitment if it's just a PDF lead magnet, right? They might just breeze through it and not have that full consumption. So free lead magnets, while they do work, and I think everything in marketing has its place. So I don't ever want to say lead magnets are dead. Webinars are dead. This is dead. You name it. Challenges are dead. They all have their place. But the fastest thing to validate any sort of offer in a marketplace is when you get someone to pull out their credit card and buy. Because when they pay attention, right? I learned that from Russell Brunson, when I was in his mastermind like 11 years ago, right? People who pay attention. I thought it was kind of cheesy when I heard it. I'm like, whatever. That sounds like bro internet marketer talk. But it's true. People who pay pay attention. And so you want that commitment level, and there's no reason not to do it. Like if you can be profitable on day one, like if you turn ads into profit, you've solved the financial equation. Like you are now financially free. So there's no reason not to try and figure out a system that can make you profitable on day one. And that's why we charge. So it's all comes down to commitment level.
Makes sense. Now, why have a micro offer versus a mid-level offer? Like, why even have the low end? Why not just start with the $100 offer or $1,000 offer? Why create a smaller step for a bigger step?
Well, if number one, it's very difficult to sell, let's say, $1,000 offer straight to cold traffic only through a sales page, because that requires a lot of consideration. Like I don't see many people making $1,000 impulse buys at scale. Someone can prove me wrong, and I hope they do, right? I hope some internet marketer out there cracks the code and says, you know what, we can sell $1,000 offers at scale straight with a sales page, or whatever. Usually, you need something like a webinar to do that. $1,000, $2,000 offer. So free training, nurture, educate, show them the opportunity, and then make a sale. It all comes down to complexity, is really what it is. It is more difficult to get $1,000 offer or a $2,000 offer to convert at scale than it is with a low ticket impulse offer. A low ticket, high value impulse offer could be a free webinar. Like you might make a webinar training, but just charge for it. And we're at the end of the webinar, you say, hey, listen, here's the next step. If you like what I shared with you here, here's the next step. So why not just gate that behind a paywall, charge for it, and then work on ascending those, because you're not net negative. You're in the profit on the front end, and that allows you runway. It's all down to financial runway. So
I love that. The last question I have, so we can add extra clarity here, is the ratio of resistance in pricing for each step. So why not have $100,000 offer with $100 automated upsell? Why is it kind of closer where the journey feels like a natural movement of pricing for a purchase journey? Like, why not have extreme pricing on both sides, you know?
you certainly can. We
Okay.
sold multiple six-figure offers.
Okay.
Now, to be clear, we haven't done it with a low ticket front end, but pricing is all relative, guys. Like, don't, you know, I encourage you I encourage you to break the rules and rewrite them. That's what marketers do. Okay, that's what good marketers do. Great marketers break the rules and rewrite them. They level up what they're the foundational framework. So just because we're doing these like baby steps up to offer one, offer two, offer three, like we know that works. We know that works because you want to keep it as impulsive as possible, because the end goal is just to be profitable on the front end, because that's what holds most people back, is seeing a net negative on the ads, right? I'm tired of losing money on ads. This model allows you to be profitable on day one and work on nurturing them on the back end and ascending them on the back end. So there's no right or wrong way, but
Got it.
this gives you profitability on day one.
Yeah, if you can break even, it's a huge win financially on
100%.
ads. Okay, let's keep going.
All right. So here's the framework, right? Low ticket front end, $100,000 automated upsell, and that adds us to the email list. Then I'll put in a sequence for all those buyers to ascend them into a 2, a 10, a 15, a $25,000 offer. Okay. So this is the funnel. This is the sequence that I've built for you. And I want to share with you inside of the Go High Level template and the snapshot that we've got. So let's
Wait a
go ahead.
minute. Is anybody else excited? You're about to
Yeah.
get a bunch of free stuff. Can we show some love here? Because Joel doesn't have to do this. He charges thousands and thousands of dollars for these things, and he's done it for many years. So just so you know, jump into a high level account. You get this for free. So show some love in the comments if you don't mind, Joel. So what do you got for us, and help us kind of walk through this?
Yeah. And so like this, I mean, this is a I don't like to use. Okay, I was going to say this is a money printing machine, but this is really just this is financial freedom. This truly is. Like, imagine if you had this in place now, and you're able to do this for one, two, or even three partners, and it's generating you, $5,000 a month in profit each, $10,000 a month in profit each, $20,000 a month in profit each. Like, that's what we're talking about here. Like, you have no ceiling. And the floor is so low now. Like, we've raised the floor and broken through the ceiling because you have partners that are going to be fulfilling on, like, they're going to be doing the customer fulfillment. They're going to be doing the course creation. Your job is just to keep cloning this system and keep making it work and optimizing and tweaking it. And that's how you break through that barrier. So, all right, cool. So let's go ahead and do a walkthrough of this. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull down the next tab over here. So if you sign up and you get access to a trial inside of Go High Level through our link, you are going to get this template. It's going to be called the Daily Customer Machine. And this snapshot is everything that I just shared with you right here. It's this snapshot built with High Level's workflows and automation. So all you got to do is one click import this. I'm going to walk you through it right now, and it's going to seamlessly integrate with what you want to do. And all you got to do is change the copy in the emails, rewrite the sales page, come up with the ads, which we'll talk about in just a second, and you are good to go to start validating these offers and providing revenue. So if we go in here, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come over here into sites, because it all starts at the funnel level. So we're going to go to sites, we're going to go to funnels, and you're going to see this Daily Customer Machine template. Now, I've used a bunch of sales page templates, and I'm not going to take credit for this sales page template because that would be wrong. Full credit goes to my good friend, Alan Sultanic, who created a sales page template that's it just works, guys. It just works. And so I did not create this, but I modified it and I use it, and I just want to give credit to where credit's due. So if I open this up here, we are going to see really what we're getting is it's a sales page that I'm still running to this day with one of my digital product partners. And so I wanted you to see an example. Now, obviously, you guys do not have permission to recreate this offer exactly. Okay. If you happen to be in the bookkeeping niche or whatever, like, you need to rework this. Okay. There's legal ramifications behind this. So please don't get yourself into legal trouble. I'm doing this so you have a real live working example, and we'll go through what this is here. So if I scroll through here, what you're going to see is that we have a pre-headline, a core headline, and a sub-headline. This right here, guys, is where 80% of your sales happen, period. So having a real solid headline is the most important thing to converting sales. In fact, the only thing that we do to test with the sales page is once we start driving traffic is we just run a split test inside of High Level. So I'll come over here and I'll click create variation, and I'll duplicate this and run a split test, a side by side, to see which one converts better. Okay. And the only thing that we change here is this core headline. That's it. Maybe the sub headline too, but I'm running 2 headline variations because that carries 80% of your conversion success. Okay. So here is how I built a $20,000 per month bookkeeping business from scratch in less than 30 days, designed for the complete beginner who desires a truly simple, predictable business model. So, working on your headline, take this, throw it into AI, throw it into ChatGPT, and say, hey, I want to model this headline. Here's the offer that I've got. Show me how to, recreate this headline using this framework, using this formula, and come up with a few different variations. So we'll scroll down. We got a little sales video here. And the next section here is, what is the model, right? What are we selling here? And this is just a quick description of what your product actually is. Now we're showcasing why this is important. Like, what's the main benefit of this system? Well, here it is. It's a shortcut for anyone wanting true financial freedom in 2025. It's a counterintuitive model. It's the fastest way to success. It's the simplest way to X, Y, and Z. So now we start getting into benefit-driven copy. And again, this is where I'm not going to go into super detail. You are smart marketers here, and this would take me literally probably 2 hours to break this down step by step. But you get this blueprint when you sign up for Go High Level, and you get this snapshot. Dissect it, study it. What I like to do, and what I did when I got into copy and marketing, is I rewrote proven sales pages from scratch. by hand. By the way, I would print them off and I would rewrite it so I can start to exercise my offer muscles. Why is this work? Why is this important? What are they writing here that makes it so effective? All right. So I would challenge you to go through that. And if you really want to get great at what you do, print this out and rewrite it by hand. It's that simple. So we'll go through here, and what you're going to see is that it is very, very simple, right? Here's a product shot summary. I've got some testimonials, which, by the way, the number one question I know many of you are going to ask, what if my customer doesn't have any testimonials? This offer here launched with 0 testimonials, 0 existing brand of my digital product partner, 0 social media presence. And we are making between 8 and 12 sales a day from day one. So testimonials are not required to make sales and to validate offers. How many of you guys believe me? Okay, that's the most important thing I want you to believe is how many of you guys believe that that's actually true? You do not need testimonials to make this offer convert.
I can tell you right now, to validate that point, we launched our 5-day challenge
Mm-hmm.
like about 10 months ago, and we're like so behind on getting testimonials, but it's been running thousands and thousands of people jumping in with just like a basic landing page, but kind of similar to this, without any proof in the pudding, no testimonials, no nothing. And yeah, I mean, the offer is what matters, and the clarity of offer is gonna be the energy that pushes it.
Yep, 100%. All right, so this is the sales page. Super, super simple, right? There's very little like marketing copy. When I say marketing copy, like I'm talking like creative, pressing on the pains and all that fancy marketing stuff that you think you need, you really don't. Simplified sales pages work. And in fact, I've got some other templates that I've been using. I can't share them right now because I don't have enough data, but even simpler than this that are performing very, very well. But use this to start and you'll be good to go.
Joel, just for clarity,
Yes.
as the provider of this service or this business opportunity, me as the consultant or agency, I should already have all this prepped before I go talk to my customer, I assume. Or if I'm talking to a customer, maybe the second call, I should come in with an asset like this, right? Like I shouldn't ask the Caribbean restaurant owner to put up copy and offers and all of that. I should just control that whole component, right?
Correct. So you are going to control that as as the marketing arm, as the strategic partner, we are going to control all of this stuff, which is why I love using Go High Level so much is because I control all of the assets, right? I can no longer when I do this, and this is okay, I'm going to go on a little rant here because guys, this is the most important part of I didn't even mention this yesterday, but you want full ownership of everything. I should say full control. You're going to share ownership, but I want you to have full control because the number one thing that I hate is when I run a traditional agency model, getting locked out of my clients' accounts. Right? So, oh, sorry, we went a different way, and I wake up one morning to an email that says they're moving in a different direction. Now I don't have anything. It's like the power shifts. Okay, when you lead as a force multiplier. So the great thing about having an agency level account at minimum with High Level is I own everything. I own the funnels. Like they're in my accounts. Okay. The domains, everything. I'm going to maintain all ownership and this is my table, guys. This is my table and I'm inviting them to have a seat inside the table. So I am going to come to the table with this stuff prepared for sure. Now I won't build an entire funnel for someone before they commit. All I do is I will give them, a Google Doc with what I come up with here. So I'm not going to write an entire sales page for them until they commit, but I have full ownership all the time. All the time. And that's what makes having ownership inside of, high level agency accounts so powerful with this model. Make sense?
Absolutely makes sense. So when it comes to the structure of the offers, can we walk through the micro offer, the upsell, the
Sure.
email assets, and then the
Yes.
ultimate package? Like just real quick so we understand the flow and how it mirrors the
Yes.
principles in the slides.
Okay, so this is the flow right here. So inside the slides, right, we've got our low ticket micro offer. That's what we uncovered right here. That's what we're selling right here under sales page. And that's this. This is the micro offer. This one we're selling for $33. Okay, so that's going to be step one. Then they go through an order form. I'm not going to go through that. You guys are smart enough to go check that out. There's nothing. Let's just pop in it real quick. Okay, but here's the checkout information, right? And there will usually be some sort of like order form bump, which is an additional training that, some sort of complimentary offer that increases the average order value. So they'll go ahead, they'll check out through here. And then the very next thing that they go through is this automated upsell right here. And that's where we're at with step 3 in the funnel step. Okay. So now this automated upsell, we are currently selling it for $9.97. And what you guys are going to see in here, I think we have the pricing at $2.97. We sold it for $2.97 for a long time. We just increased it to $9.97 because it is a full comprehensive training and it's still selling, right? So that's increasing our average order value even more. But look at how simple this upsell page is, right? It takes less than, I don't know, 3 minutes to go through the entire thing. We got frequently asked questions down here. We've got our core button right here, and everything else is really like, here's what the product will do for you. Okay. This simple upsell converts $33 buyers into $9.97 buyers at the push of a button, right? It increases our average order value. Okay. So this is that automated upsell. So if I look at the slides, that's right here. Okay. The next step is a simple thank you page. Now, you can add more upsells if you want. It can be upsell number 1, upsell number 2, upsell number 3. That's fine. All I would do is I would just clone this and put it right down, right after there. So I have upsell number OTO number 1, which stands for one-time offer. If you're not familiar with internet marketing terms, one-time offer, which is OTO, is the same thing as in-funnel upsell. They're used interchangeably. So if you hear me say upsell or OTO, they're the same thing. So if you want to add more OTOs or upsells, you just clone this page and add it right beneath here, and you're done. You've got another product that you can sell them, another way to increase average order value. But ultimately, once they're done, they go to this thank you page, and it's super, super simple, right? So we have, hey, your order's been processed. Welcome. Thank you for your purchase. Here's your order form. Here's your receipt, and then here's how to access it. Okay, so we send them to all of these links right here. You just got to swap out the links, and you're good to go. Now, that ends this sequence right here. Okay, and we're building that audience. We're getting those emails. We're serving our customers, which is the real asset. So what we do after that, excuse me, what we do after that is we will then include a follow-up email. My throat was really dry. We'll include a follow-up email sequence, which now pushes them to a $2,000 or a $10,000 upsell. And the way that looks inside of Go High Level is this is our next upsell right here. So we call this certification upgrade just because that's how it was positioned with my client. And if we open this up, you will see it is the exact same framework as what? This upsell right here. Same format, everything. And what we do is we just simply ask them, or I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. It's this one right here. I'll explain what this one is in just a second. I don't want to confuse you. So we have this high ticket application. So this goes to filling out an application and booking a call for a $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 offer. If you wanted to add this as just a direct to sale purchase, you're just going to clone the exact same funnel template and just have a checkout form on this page. But here we go. We have an invitation to become a partner with our client right here. We'll go through all the benefits. Like I said, I'm gonna quickly scroll through this. If you're a high level customer, you're gonna get access to this. But this would take me. I would go through this over 7 days with my standard clients. But we're gonna go very, very quickly. But here I go through the benefits, who it's for, who it's not for, and then we have frequently asked questions, and then a link to go book a call with the client. And so my client takes these sales calls and she enrolls them. Okay, you can set this up however you want, but this is how we upgrade them to a $2,000 to $10,000 to $20,000 offer automatically with this email sequence. So just to recap how this all works: low ticket front end offer, automated inflow upsell. Then we add the email list, and I'll do a 14-day sequence that promotes this $2,000 to $10,000 upsell, where it's application only. Got it? And it goes just like this. Sales page, order form, automatic upsell, thank you page. I should probably update this just a little bit just for clarity so you guys know exactly what's happening. I will have an email sequence that will, where's my curved connector here? Once they buy the front end, I have a 4-day follow-up email sequence that gets anyone who bought the front end but didn't buy this upsell. I repitch them this upsell for 4 days. Okay, so I have an email sequence for all these buyers that don't buy the automatic upsell, and I repitch that automatic upsell for $9.97. Then we get put on my automatic list. I follow up with these people for 14 days, and I pitch them the $2,000 upsell, the $10,000 upsell. I know that's a lot. Paulson, does that make sense?
It makes total sense.
Okay.
And I want to invite everyone that's watching to get creative because we're not telling you to stay in this box of what we're providing. This whole structure of what Joel's providing is simply just a starting point for you. Like it's simply a starting point over, 10 plus years of Joel developing his principles, right, in marketing. So what you're learning here is just a starting point. You should be building out WhatsApp. You should be building out voicemails. You should be building out AI employee interactions. You should be building out text messages, emails. Like there is a plethora of things you can attach to this once you have the structure in place. And here's another thing I will recommend at a personal level. I'm a big fan of focusing on one offer, one customer, one industry. That's the way I built all three of my agencies in the past. And while that's total opposite of the traditional model, I just think that's the best starting point. Eventually, you can expand into three or four or five different avatars, but you just focus on, if you're going after the Caribbean restaurant maker, restaurant owner, do like four or five of those until you get comfortable and then you pivot to another. So that way you're not building up the fulfillment from scratch every single time, right? Joel works with certain types of avatars, maybe three or four, in my opinion, that I know of, right? And he focuses on just those three. There's no need for you to build 100 different avatars and rebuild these assets over and over. Imagine if you have all this built out. The second client you go to because of the snapshot power, you can just launch in 5 minutes.
100%. Yep. And I challenge you all to, pick a niche and own it because that is what's going to give you scale. 100%. All right. So this is the funnel flow. Okay. What I want to move to next inside of the high level template is I want to move to the automations because this is where the power comes in with really automating this. And this is what makes high level so powerful and so simple and easy to use. Inside of workflows, so this is called workflows. So automations and workflows, I've got 2 folders. Like it's also important to keep this stuff organized and clean. And if you guys appreciate any of that, I think you'll appreciate what we've built inside of this high level snapshot. So I've got fulfillment and then I've got sales. Now, fulfillment is what happens when somebody just makes a purchase and I got to give them whatever they bought. Okay. Sales is going to be my automations of like my follow-up. For instance, this follow-up sequence of people who buy the front end but don't buy this automated upsell, that's a sales automation. Okay. People who buy the upsell and I need to market to the $2,000 to $10,000 upsell, that's a sales and follow-up automation. Okay. So just for clarity of definitions, that's what these two are meant for. So if I go under fulfillment, product purchase, I've got 3 workflows right here. I'll try and zoom in a little bit to make it a little bit bigger. And there we go. So I'm going to go quickly through this because if you get the snapshot, you'll be able to go deeper. This is kind of like, here's the high level flow of how it works. Now we're going to the details and I want to just go quickly through this because again, I teach this over 7 days. We have 90 minutes here. So I've got 3 workflows and this is when people purchase the front end offer. I'm going to give them just a basic fulfillment sequence. So we have the trigger here, which is the global product. So when you add your product to high level, you just click this drop down and you add it right here. And that will be what triggers this workflow. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grant them access to the offer, which by the way, you could host your courses inside of Go High Level as well, or your clients' courses, your partners' courses. So I upload the product in here. create an offer, and then I drop down and I select it right here so they get access to it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger my ads pixel. It's also known as conversion API for Facebook. And, just you'll learn about that later on. But this is how I push all of my data back to Facebook, including the order value. So I can open up my ads manager and see exactly which ads are profitable and which ads are not. So I send that back to Facebook right here, which is amazing that Go High Level has that native integration built in. You'd have to buy a third-party service and get that all tied in. Then we've got, I want to tag my buyers. So I just create a little buyer tag, and you're going to create your own one. But mine looks like 1 Hour Bookkeeper Blueprint Buyer. So I'm going to create a buyer tag, and I'm going to tag everybody who makes a purchase. That's just for organization of my contacts. We have a remove abandoned cart tag, which is all those people who opt in but don't buy. And then we are going to remove them from that non-buyer workflow. I'll show you where that is in just a second. And then finally, we give them a simple welcome email. This is just, hey, congratulations, you're in, yada, yada, yada. Again, I'm not going to go through the copy because we're short on time. And what I do is I add them to the next sequence, which is offer follow-up. Okay. So this is where we are going to get them to go purchase the upsell number 1. Okay, which is that $9.97 purchase. So this is what we do with sequence number 1 under fulfillment. A lot of automations are happening. Now I do the exact same thing for any offer that they purchase. So if they're purchasing the order bump offer, which is that complimentary offer that happens on the checkout page, we do the same thing. If they purchase that bump, I give them access to it. I add a tag, I wait, and then I send that data back to Facebook. Okay, so this is more technical automation that sends data where we need to and gets people properly tagged. And I do that for every single purchase. So if they purchase the OTO upsell, I do the exact same thing. They purchase it, I grant them access to the program, I tag them, and I send that data back to Facebook. Everybody with me so far? Okay, now I went through that really, really quickly, but it's very, very basic. But all the core automations and all the core triggers that you need to make this an all-in-one platform to giving access to your customers, this is where it all happens. Paulson, you with me? Anything that I
I'm
should
with
really
you.
clarify? Okay.
I'm with you. In my, to be honest, my mind is going to. I know you charge a lot for what you're providing here, and you're
Mm-hmm.
being very modest. So, and I'm just like grateful in some sense, like, because this is expensive business that we're walking through right now that people are getting for free, and I hope they take advantage of this because sometimes when you give things away for free, a lot of people don't see the full value or take it for granted. So I hope that never happens from any of you. Keep going, Joel. That's where my mind is. It's
Yeah.
incredible things that you're sharing for free.
Cool. Organization is key. All right. And that's why I break it down into these 2 folders. This is fulfillment. And now we go into sales, which is post-purchase follow-up automations. And here we've got 3 automations. Number 1, this is retargeting the non-buyers. So let's go back to the snapshot real quick. So on our snapshot, we have a low ticket sales page. Actually, let me see if I can just duplicate this real quick and I'll show you what this looks like. So I'm going to go back to sites. I'm going to go to funnels and I want to show you where this is actually taking place. So if we go to our sales page, our main sales page, what you're going to realize is that there's a little pop-up that comes in here. Enter your name and your email. Okay. So we're collecting the lead right here. And we do this to follow up with our leads that don't buy. So we're coming up over here and we send this automation and this triggers an automation. Okay. And this triggers this automation right here. This is the non-buyer workflow. So I don't know why that's.
If you can, on the left side, go to 144. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that works. 114. Yep.
Excellent. Okay. This one's a little bit longer, but conceptually, it's super basic. So it might look complicated, but it's just a follow-up sequence to get anyone who opted in but did not complete the purchase on the checkout page to go try and save the sale. So we're triggering this here. The form is, the add to cart form. So once they opt in there, we're going to add a tag saying, hey, they abandoned cart. They did not purchase, which when they do purchase, this tag gets removed, by the way. We're going to wait 1 hour. We're going to run an automation here, or I'm sorry, a branch that says, hey, if it does not include the tag buyer, this means they have not yet purchased. So they're going to go into this email sequence right here. So this is the first email. And it's basically just saying, hey, why didn't you buy? Okay. Again, the copy is in here for all of you who have this snapshot. So I'm not going to go through the copy, but it's very, very simple. I'm just letting you know, hey, you might have forgot this, or maybe you're on your phone and you wanted to save this for later. Go here, complete your purchase. Okay. And then I'm going to wait until 8 a.m. the next day. I'm going to run that same logic check. Hey, does this person have the tag 1 hour blueprint buyer, right? Same tag that we have up there. I know it's different in here, but it should be the same tag where you're just checking to make sure that they actually have it. And if they don't, we're going to send them another follow-up email. Okay. And we're just going to keep down this branch, the same logic sequence, and send them another email and then another email. So it's 4 emails where we follow up. And after that, they're not going to buy, right? No big deal, but I've still got them on my leads list. Okay. So I can send them other offers down the road, but that's what we're doing here for the follow-up sequence. Everyone with me?
Give us a one in the chat if you're with us so far. I know a lot of newbies might. It's okay to feel a bit nauseated. That's normal when you're on the high level roller coaster, but once you get comfortable with workflows and how things are set up, and you feel the flow of how our UI is, you'll be in a better place. So by the way, you can get into a live Zoom call anytime and have a person walk you through all of this. If you want, I can drop the link to that. We have 24/7 anytime zone, even including weekends. We have a whole team behind you to help you with all these things. Okay, so don't be afraid. We're keep going. We're gonna keep going here. So Joel, so you have the non-buyer workflow, and that applies to all the different offer steps, right?
Correct. So that's the
Mm,
first follow-up sequence.
got it.
100%. Yeah. So
Cool.
if they did not purchase that front end mini offer, that's where they're going to go through here. Okay.
Got it.
This second sequence, this second workflow automation is going to be triggered for anyone who purchased the front end offer. So in our case, it's this $33 front end offer, but did not purchase. Let me see if I can share here. Did not purchase this one right here. So this is the automation sequence that we're going to be sending to
Yeah.
get them
So
to
the
go buy this.
traffic, so the traffic that didn't make the step two, but they activated on step one.
Correct. So there's technically an automated sequence that repitches these people who didn't buy, right? So we've got every step has an automated follow-up sequence. So that's where we're at here. So if we come back in here to the automation, we've got quick start purchase to OTO number 1, upsell follow-up, right? So that's how I do my nomenclature is like, okay, I want to know from a high level, like, what am I doing here? And this is retargeting people who purchase the front end offer to get them to go buy the upsell. And it's going to be very similar to what we just did on the first step. So the trigger here.
Do you
Now
mind
these
going
people.
to 114 on the Zoom level on the left
Yep.
side? Yep, thank you. That's perfect. Yeah.
Now these people are being added into this workflow through one of the previous automations. Okay, if you remember, I think it was the first automation, and this is where you got to use your imagination. Okay, guys, with high level, there's probably 100 different ways to do everything. So I don't have a trigger being set up here. I can very easily make this a trigger, but I have them being pushed in here through the initial fulfillment email sequence. You'll see that there is a, hey, if they purchase this, push them into this upsell sequence. Okay, so that's how they're being pushed into here. So I know that there's probably going to be questions there. I just wanted to address that. So if you want to change this, that's fine. You can set up the trigger however you want, but that's how they're coming into this sequence. So when they do, they're going to look at this logic and say, hey, do they have novice to numbers ninja? That's what we called OTO number 1. And if they don't, they're going to be pushed into the follow-up sequence. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 emails where we push them into this page right here. Okay. So if we go back into the funnel step, that's why we have this certification upgrade email, because all of the traffic coming to this page is coming from this automation, right? I just wanted to keep it very, very simple. I wanted to separate it. So that's why we have these 2 pages are essentially clones, but the traffic sources are different. This is coming from in the funnel. This is coming from the follow-up email sequence. Okay. So you can look at the emails just by opening them up and checking them out. But I've got a I've got that placed in there for you guys to go check out. Finally, we're going to go into the third one. Now, this is where we go into the high ticket ascension. Now, the only people who see this are people who buy OTO number one. This was strategic for this specific project. My client only wanted to work with people who bought OTO number one for the high ticket ascension. This doesn't mean you have to follow this exact framework. If you want to invite everybody into your high ticket, awesome. You can modify this and just tag everybody to go into this follow-up sequence. But just for clarity, that's how we have this set up. So if we open this up, the trigger here is if they bought OTO number one, then they're going to get put into this follow-up sequence. And I have this set up. I'll just zoom out. I think it's 14 days. Okay.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like that's like
Yeah.
this is going to be it's a larger purchase. And essentially what I do is I hit a new angle every 4 days. So
Yeah.
email 1, 2, 3, and 4 are
Yeah.
targeting one specific pain point. And you'll see
Yeah.
that every 4 every 4 emails, I have an AM pitch and a PM pitch.
Yeah.
Okay. So
And,
I'm
and
like, value, value, value. And then I go twice a day pitches. Then I come down and I go value, value, value. And on the 4th day with this new angle, we have 2 pitch emails, like hard pitch right there. Hey, go apply, go apply.
yeah.
And it goes
Why does that matter, Joel, that we follow up with educational and value-based content versus sales pitchy content? Like, what's the psychology in that for those folks that are kind of new?
Yeah, so you got to just look at it from a buyer's perspective. I take a when you're trying to monetize an email list, you have to provide a delicate balance of sales versus marketing. Marketing's only job is to educate and nurture. Okay. So you basically have 3 types of content. You have sales, marketing, and just flat out teaching. Where most experts go wrong is they just teach, and hoping that some of those people will ultimately buy. And they will, but if you're doing nothing but teaching and you're not inspiring, which is what marketing is teaching with the intent to inspire, you're going to have a low conversion rate. So in the workflow of what we're doing here, you have to understand like the buyer is hot right now, meaning they're a super, super hot lead. Now, we don't want to just hammer them over the head with these constant pitches. You got to remember, I'm already doing that. So if they didn't buy upsell number one, I'm hitting them with 4 or 5 emails of just constant pitches like, hey, go buy upsell number one, upsell number one, upsell number one. And then once they do that, they get put into this. So I wanted to slow it down a little bit because they need time to go consume that first upsell. And it's a lengthy course. So here, I did tone it down quite a bit. So I think these first 3 emails are just pure value of like, hey, here's why you're doing this. Here's why I did this, et cetera, et cetera. Then I'll do a soft pitch here for this first pitch day. And then after that, it's, nurture and value, nurture, hard pitch. So I don't want to let them go cold as they're consuming this content, but I also don't want to just be a massive pitch fest. So that's the balance that I found works very, very well.
Makes total sense. Let's keep going.
Okay, sweet. Yes, Deacon says jab, 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 right hook. That's the Gary V. And yes, I don't normally follow that, but in this case I do. Meaning, we'll go down a whole different path. But yes, jab, 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 right hook. That's true. All right, so that's the snapshot, guys. That is everything that you need to just start clone. How many of you guys can now see how easy it is for you to clone this for every single partner and quickly test and get those partners live at the push of a button, right? Are you guys starting to see how possible this is and like what the results are of unlocking that next level for yourself? Because this is a huge shortcut and a massive shortcut, especially with Go High Level, where I can manage all these sub accounts under one spot and clone and import. Like the sky's the limit for you, right?
From a 10,000-foot view, remember that what we're teaching here is your launch plan, right?
Yes.
This is before you have any reviews, you don't have any testimonials on the offer, you don't have any, momentum just yet on the quality of the offer. So once you start building up assets from customers that took advantage of these offers, now instead of just your value-based emails and follow-ups will become real life stories. Hey,
Yes.
the like it just changes the energy around your automations and offers as you collect assets from real life people that are taking advantage of these offers. So this is just a structure for the beginning to launch.
Yep. 100%. So, sorry, the engineering brain in me is getting a little cold here. So, I
Okay.
just had to make sure I had this accurate. So this is really what the plan looks like. Okay, from a high level snapshot. But let's keep going forward because I've got something else I really want to share with you. That's really really exciting, especially for all of you marketing geeks out there. So, we did the walkthrough. And now we have to figure out how are we going to validate this, right? I want to show you what I call the $100 offer validation test. And this is a game changer. Like this really makes everything so simple where you're dealing with signal, you're not dealing with noise. How many of you guys know the difference between signal and noise, right? Signal is when you have irrefutable data that tells you yes or no. It's binary. Okay. It's A or B, black and white, yin and yang. That's signal. And we want to find that signal as fast as possible. And most marketers, God bless them, most marketers, and I'm not throwing any names under the bus, but they teach marketing as something that is complicated because the more complicated you make something, the higher the perceived value is of the guru who needs to teach it. You need to get all the keys from me, from me, the marketing guru. And I have gone the exact opposite way. I developed something called a power offer framework, which is a one sentence offer that you can use to validate darn near anything. And while this doesn't follow the one sentence offer, I want you to understand like all of what I teach is meant to be as direct as possible because we need to find signal. Noise is everything else. Marketing is all noise because I can tell you that there are probably 35 different angles and different stories that you could tell with marketing that you should test. And they could be driving conversions or they could just be pushing people away. But I want to give you templates and I want to give you frameworks that will only give you signal and allow you to test with $100 or less in budget so you can quickly figure out do we have something here or don't or not. All right? So you guys want to see what this $100 offer testing is for validating your low ticket
Any,
offers?
anyone else excited? I didn't even know about this component, Joel. I
Yes.
knew about the last one, so this is even new stuff for me to see. Show some love in the comments if you are overwhelmed with a Christmas present and it's not
Yes.
Christmas.
All right. I love models, I love frameworks, I love flowcharts. So this is what this looks like. When we are ready to offer to validate an offer with a potential partner, what we are going to do is we're going to create something that I call mini sales page ads. All right. And the comments are flooding in, so there must be a little bit of a delay, which is awesome. So I appreciate all of your enthusiasm and momentum and engagement. That means a lot. So um, we're going to write what I call mini sales page ads, and we don't even have to write them. I'm going to show you how you can clone them and repurpose already proven frameworks at the push of a button, thanks to AI and a really cool tool that I've used now for about 6 months. So we're going to write these mini sales page ads, and I'll show you what that framework looks like in just a second. And we're going to send them to the sales page for our mini product. And then essentially, we are going to run them for $100, and we're going to look at the data. Did we get purchases? Yes or no? If we got a purchase, awesome. We're going to keep it running and we're going to amp up the ad spend and we're going to keep driving traffic to it because it's working and it's converting. That's signal. If it does not produce a purchase, then we're going to relaunch a new mini sales page ad angle. This is binary, guys. Okay. It doesn't get any more simple than this. And when you see why we write mini sales page ads, you'll understand why I'm only looking for signal right now and how to keep things simple. So, what is a mini sales page ad? Well, it's hyper specific. It covers all the core benefits of our mini offer and it tests the core messaging of the product being offered. It should reveal the price point, it should reveal your bonuses, and it should reveal your core promise, just like a sales page does. And so a mini sales page is an ad on Facebook or Meta that covers all of these things because I want to know, do people actually want this or not?
Mm-hmm.
Because noise is when we create ads that are very blind, they're curiosity driven, they don't reveal the price, and all they are doing is just trying to attract a click. And I can get clicks a million gabillion different ways, but most of those clicks are going to be unqualified. And that is where a lot of people go wrong, is that they try and figure out what are these ads that can get clicks when I should be figuring out how do I get ads that attract the most qualified buyers so I can figure out, do people even want this darn thing or not? So I want to figure out how I can attract high intent leads that will convert into buyers. And that's what I call a mini sales page ad. And it follows this framework: hook, origin story, offer. It doesn't get any simpler than that. Okay. This is what we have found to be the most compelling mini sales page ad because they want to know, cool, how, what's got me interested in this ad? Why should I trust you? And what do you have to offer? If you follow those 3 core building blocks, you can clone these ads at the push of a button. So let me give you an example. All right. So this is a longer form ad. And if you guys get a high level trial, you'll get a copy of this and you can see it. I'm not going to go through all of it, but I'm going to give you the kind of the overview. So with this 1 hour bookkeeper client, we had her origin story, which was the hook. Right back in 2021, I was a stressed out mom struggling to balance work and family life. That calls out our core avatar, right? That calls out our core avatar. Then we go into the story. Not even 6 months later, I had developed a simple bookkeeping business that let me earn $20,000 monthly while working just 1 hour per month per client from home. The idea of turning basic bookkeeping skills into what would become a life-changing business opportunity for busy moms was unbelievable, but it happened. Now, if you're reading this, I imagine you have the itch to start your own flexible business, but I haven't gotten started either from the fear of learning a new skill, finding clients, leaving your steady paycheck to really go after the freedom you deserve. If you're in that boat, my jumpstart is for you. Inside, you'll get, and now we go into the offer. Okay. The complete 1 hour bookkeeping training, bonus modules, the no-brainer bookkeeping offer, productivity planner, 14 days, your first client quick start. Curious to find more? Get access for just $33. Do you see now why I call that a mini sales page ad? Kind of looks like a sales page, right? Now, think about it. Think about this. Anybody who reads this ad and clicks, what type of signal am I getting there? I would imagine these people are pretty qualified, right? Meaning, I already know the price. I've heard some of that origin story. I read the hook. This resonates with me. I see the training. I see the bonuses. I see the price. When someone clicks on this ad, they don't get any more qualified than this. How many of you guys have ever written ads and have gotten confused because you just don't know what to say and you just want to get clicks to traffic to your site, but you don't really know how to get them to convert? This is the secret, guys. You want to go after your most hyper qualified buyers, period, right out of the gate. This was the ad, or a version of this ad is what we wrote when we launched this from scratch and generated, I think it was 10 clients the first day, 12 clients the next day, 0 testimonials, 0 Facebook presence, 0 followers on our Facebook page, nothing built in terms of a brand. We put out this offer right here and boom, we got signal.
Wow.
We got signal, right?
That's incredible. And this is a bookkeeper.
100%. This is the bookkeeping client. So the question now becomes, awesome. How do I model this, right? Well, I want to give you guys 8 low ticket validation ad examples that follow this framework, mini sales page ads. And I want to show you how to clone them at the push of a button. So I'm going to go ahead and what I want to share with you is over here, we have a little swipe file tool that we use. And I've got, which, as a marketer, you guys should all be collecting ads, right? How many of you guys have ever taken screenshots of ads and screenshots of sales pages to study them and use them as your own inspiration, right? I do that all the time. It's one of the fastest ways that I've built my $1 million portfolios. It's just learning. The problem was I had no proper way to organize and store them. And if I didn't organize and store them, I never referenced them again. And I essentially never used them. So they just became a waste of time and collecting digital dust. And so I wanted to figure out a way to organize these swipe files and then actually use them. So I've got 8 sample ads that either I've studied or I personally wrote. One, two, three. Half of these are ones that I personally wrote using my mini sales page ad framework. And if I open this up, I can click on this and I can see the entire ad, right? So this is Miles Stutz, a good friend of mine. He was teaching the 4 Hour Consultant, right? So now this is super short. Hey, warning, I used to give away my secrets for free until I turned them into digital snacks and started selling them, 100 to 300 units a week. Want my $17 formula? Boom, click here. Now let's go through and do a different one. So this is another version of the 1 Hour Bookkeeper ad that we wrote and that we launched. And so back in 2021, I was a stressed out mom, yada, yada, yada. And here is the rest of the ad, right? Following that mini sales page framework. I go over here and I look at my friend and partner, Brad Costanzo. Here's the ad that we modeled for him, a mini sales page ad. We got the price revealed. We got the bonuses. We've got everything right there. Awesome. So I can organize all of my files right here. But here's the cool thing. I can go over here and click clone with AI. So let's just say I wanted to rewrite one of these into my own products. I'm going to click this. It's going to open up this little sidebar and I'm going to just choose a product right here. I've got a million in here. There's Rob Bailey. I think a lot of you guys know Rob Bailey, a good friend of mine. And let's just do the digital product partner, right? So I've already got my avatar built out in here. I'm going to click create it. And in about 7 seconds, it's going to go ahead and clone this ad for my new product. So we'll come over here. We'll just click refresh, wait for it to. There it is. And now I've got my ad written. So I want you to think about something. If you had a client and you knew our partner, let me say, if you had a partner and you needed to launch them in 24 hours, you'd have to write all these things from scratch, or you could take proven winners and clone them and repurpose them at the push of a button. So now I've got this ad right here. I've got the original right here, and I've got my new version for my product, totally unique, written just right here following that framework. Okay. Back in 2016, I was a struggling agency owner drowning in 5K projects and demanding clients. Not even 1 week later, I had developed a simple AI powered partnership model that let me earn $18,444 while working just 4 hours per day, 4 days a week. Right? Pretty cool, huh? Imagine now you could create as many versions of this with any ad that you clipped on the marketplace. That is the power of what you can do with this cloning system. And so
Wow.
yeah, so like this is an agency owner's like gold mine. Being able to just organize your swipe files, save everything that you want. What I do is I like to come over here to Facebook, which is all powered by a Chrome extension, and I'll scroll through here and you'll see there's a little clip icon right here. It's a little browser extension, and this works for Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram as well. And if I see an ad that I want, here's a supplement offer. I'm just going to click this clip icon. A little browser is going to, a drawer is going to pop up. I'm going to save this. Let's just say under my inspiration bucket, I'm going to clip it. It's going to go through. It's going to save my ad. I come back over here to inspired, and I just click refresh, and boom, I've got this ad now saved in my swipe file, and I can clone that at the push of a button. So what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to share with you this entire swipe file. Okay. So we'll include a link to share these low ticket sales ads right here. There's 8 of them. Most of them follow this mini sales page ad framework. Here's another one that follows that mini sales page framework. For all of you who take a Go High level trial as well, I'm going to download these. If you don't want to use Inspired, that's totally fine. I'm going to download these separately as little PDFs. I'll include them. I'll send them over to Paulson. He'll include that in the resources as well. So go grab your trial to Go High Level, and we'll get those PDFs. And any of you who want to use this swipe file, if you go to bit.ly/low ticket ads, you can import all of those into your account and start building your own swipe file with the Chrome extension as well. So I know that was a lot, and we went through a ton of stuff there. So I tried to be as quick and as thorough as possible. Paulson, I'll turn it back over to you. So we can do questions, anything that you want. I'm all yours.
I love it. So first of all, in the chat, please tell us what you're feeling at the moment. Like, are you excited? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Do you feel like you just hit a gold mine of a workshop? For those of you that if today was your day one, I promise you, you're in a good place, regardless that you missed yesterday. Go back and watch replays. How is everyone feeling so far? Let me get a temperature check of where you are. I assume everyone is just ecstatic. Um, Joel, going back to the offer framework real quick, if you don't mind, I think slide 11. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, sure.
Um, for this, when it comes to follow-ups, right? I'm assuming you have emails, you have text messages, you have all kinds of different things, and I assume that you invite everyone else to be creative around this, right? This is just a starting point.
Yes. Yes. So the only follow-ups that we use right now, and this is more so full transparency, just being lazy. I don't have text message follow-ups in here. So you can absolutely add text message follow-ups in the workflow. It's just adding a module, adding a node alongside your email follow-ups, and you can do text message follow-ups as well. I will say one thing that we are testing and really trying to learn right now, which I know is a big push for you guys over there at Go High Level, as we're really testing out the AI agents with conversation AI and the gabillion other features that you guys have launched. Credit to you guys for like taking action. Like it's hard to keep up with it all because there's so much that you
It's a
guys
lot.
are
It's a
developing,
lot.
which is that's a good thing. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but we're doing conversation AI and following up with appointment booking bots through text messages. So that's kind of what we're doing in the testing phases right now.
Mm,
So,
yeah,
but yeah, you can definitely add text message follow up in there as well. And
yeah.
I'm, you always get a higher response with text versus email.
I love it. So, is there anything else you want to cover as we kind of maybe go into a quick Q&A? Do you feel
For
pretty
me,
good
or
about, yeah,
you're asking
anything
the
else for
audience?
day two? Anything else in day two that you had planned on covering? I feel like we made some really good ground today.
Yeah, I mean, we
Uh,
covered a ton in, just for day 2. I mean, it was really we covered the offer prompt, we covered in-depth detail the Go High Level snapshot, and then how we
offer
validate with
validation.
low ticket ads. And
Yeah,
and I mean, that should be a lot for people to take away right now.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you don't wanna give them too much of a fire hose. I'm sure that some of these people are probably feeling a little excited, but hopefully, or a little overwhelmed, but hopefully in a good way, an
In a
excited
good
way,
way.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work. I mean, that's
Mhm.
part of being a digital marketing agency. That's part of being a consultant. That's part of being a business owner. That it's going to be a lot of work. It's going to take you probably a full weekend to set all this up. So let's do this. Let's spend the next 10 minutes doing a Q&A. For those of you that have questions, type in the letter Q and then print out your question if you don't mind, or question, type in question and put it out. And what I'll do is rapid fire with you, Joel, if you don't mind,
Mhm.
on questions that are coming in. And I'm going to make sure we talk about relevant questions that contains the content and things that we talked about here. If you're asking about something totally unrelated, I'm going to just ask you to go to our trial experience room or success room at speakwith.us/walkthrough. And someone will jump on a call with you, Zoom live right now, and walk you through whatever help that you might need. So, for those of you that have questions, go ahead and put down those questions. And for those of you that are wanting the snapshot and the resources, you're going to get it on email. We'll provide the links to you as well. So, first question, Janice is asking, do I need to sign up for the Get Inspired app to get this file shared, or I'm already on High Level?
Yeah, so it's a Chrome extension, and so there's a paid version if you want it. There's also a free version to build your own swipe file. So if you go to the Chrome store, this is the totally free version, and you search on the Chrome store just inspired web clipper, you'll be able to build your own swipe file totally free. It's our 100% free plan, no credit card required. So that's what I'd recommend for all of you guys. So just go to a Chrome web store and that will give you this extension right here and allow you to build your own swipe file. We're very proud of it. We've got 87 ratings, 5-star reviews, 100% free, no credit card required. So if you want to clip your own ads and you also just want to, after you download the Chrome extension, you can use that link that I shared with you earlier, which is just right here, bit.ly/low ticket ads. It will import those files to your account 100% free No credit card required.
Sweet. Lashandra Coleman's asking, can you show us the Facebook ad snag again one more time if you don't mind?
Sure.
Uh,
So you come through here, and once you install the free extension, you're going to see there's a little bit of setup that's involved, but you install this, and you'll see this little clip icon, and it will follow you around on every single post. So if there's an ad that you want to save, you click this clip icon, select a category, you click clip it. I already clipped this one, so I'm not going to do it again, and you're done. It's super, super simple to build your own swipe file. We're very, very proud of it. We are. It's just a game changer. Oops, it's a game changer for uh, any marketer who saves ads. It also saves landing pages too. Um, Again, I don't want to go and demo that tool, but it does a ton. Just use it for building your
great.
own swipe file. You'll get a lot of value out of it. And if you implement it with this model here, it's going to crush it for you, hands down.
Yeah. Someone's asking, Joel, what are your thoughts on working with influencer who has a following but no products?
Love it. I love it. If they have an audience, even better. You don't even have to run ads, right? You can launch it to their internal audience first. Like any of these products, you can launch to that internal audience. Um, influencers are probably a little bit more harder to partner with just because they probably have people pitching them all the time and it's harder to get their attention. So I prefer, they also come with their own ego too. Like that's one thing that you have to battle with influencers. So uh, I will never turn down somebody with an existing audience if they give me access to that audience to go create products. Like that can be a shortcut for really, really great success. However, I don't want you guys to be limited in your thinking and thinking you only go after influencers because those come with, you know, there's pros and cons with influencers. Like I said before, some
Yeah.
of these influencers tend to have pretty big egos, even though they might not be making any money. They value fame, and that's that can be challenging to deal with. So I'll just throw that caveat out there.
Love it. There's asking, are we having training for 5 more days, or is this it? Should we continue for another 5 days,
Oh
7 day
God.
workshop? You know what's funny, Joel, is my very first workshop I ever did. I remember telling Sean and Robin and everyone, hey, I'm gonna do our first ever training. I did a 10-day challenge or a 10-day workshop. We didn't even have a name to call it. And we went for like 3 hours a day. It was my friend Joel Kaplan and I, and teaching people how to get their first clients. I mean, it was many moons ago, and that was brutal. So this is just a 2-day workshop. You might be thinking about our 5-day challenge, our AI employee 5-day challenge. If you want links to that, we can add that in the comments. You can jump in
Yeah,
into
Paulson. I
the.
think I think what they might be referring to is like the title of the workshop was like your 7-day partner plan, right?
Ah,
Yes.
yes,
So like
good
the
point.
goal is like you could take action and start reaching out to your leads and launch in 7 days. So it's like you will be able to implement all of this. Like once everything we covered here, you should be able to implement this and start to drive traffic in 7 days. That's kind of like the big picture overview from finding a partner, using AI to craft the offer, using the Go High Level template to, build out the sequence, build out the funnel, build out the system, and start testing. It shouldn't take more than 7 days to go from start to finish on that.
Great point. I didn't even think about that, but great point. Clark is saying, if we already are a GHL owner, can we still get the snapshot? Yes, absolutely. We'll email you all the links with the snapshots and folders and everything. So if you make sure you scan that code and make sure you sign up for the event and the whole shebang. So if you go there, you'll see an option for existing users in that page for you to sign up for all the resources. And it'll ask you, I think, to put in your relationship number and things like that. Daryl's asking, quick question: what kind of Facebook audience targeting was done for the bookkeeping offer? Well, that's going to vary across each industry and each person. But can you talk about Facebook audience targeting for a quick 30 seconds?
Yeah, I just go broad. The way that the way that the algorithm works and has been working for years now is it reads your copy on the ad, it reads your landing page, and it has a really good idea of who the target market is. So I normally don't mess around with detailed targeting. I really don't. I go broad, country based targeting only, and I let the algorithm go find the customers. So I keep it super simple.
Sweet. Someone's asking, whose ad account and Stripe do you use? Is this the business partner or you, or like what does the financial fulfillment look
Yeah,
like?
great question. And there's no perfect answer here. I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what the other options are, and it's totally up to you what you decide. I like to have ownership of everything, meaning merchant account. I like to pay my partners, not wait to go get payment. Um, Now, if they already have a Stripe account and you just want to plug theirs in and you own everything on the Go High Level snapshot, that gives you plenty of protection as well. Now, the money is going to go into their account. And if you do that, then I would have you put their credit card on the Facebook ads as well. So you lose a little bit of leverage um, with needing trust from your partner that they will pay you out on a regular basis, but um, you have the leverage of owning the funnel assets, so you can turn things on or off and do whatever you want. So I like to have every ownership over everything, meaning if they pay me $10,000 prepayment for ads, they'll wire me the money. Then I open up an ad account. I will open up, or I've got a couple Stripe accounts that I use for these partner offers, or I might open up a new one, or Deposit is another merchant platform that I've used. And so I like to create everything from scratch just to have full ownership. So the money comes in and goes out through me. That way I pay my partner whatever the difference is, whatever the net gain is, the net profits are, and I run the bookkeeping as well. So
Makes
I
sense.
want them to just be focusing on product and focusing on customer service.
Got it. Makes sense. If you don't mind, stop sharing the screen. We can kind of one more question that I have in mind,
Mhm.
I just personally thought about was contractual agreements. I don't want to provide legal advice here, but what does that look like? Do you put up a contract with them prior to the launch, or do you test the launch and see if it's worth going into a partnership after? Like, what does that look like from like a contractual standpoint?
Yeah, I would say it depends on whatever your initial deposit is going to be. So, for instance, if you're just doing $1,000, like someone's just going to give you $1,000 and you run $1,000 ad test, I probably wouldn't do a contract for that. It's just a lot of extra work, even though like I have contract templates that I use. I'm not a lawyer. I can't really provide legal advice. So take that, do your own research there. But, you know, um, if it's $1,000, like I probably won't do
Yeah,
a contract until we pass phase two, which is like, hey, this is valid. We're making money and we want to continue to scale this. Um, Now, most of my product partners, I have them put up $10,000 in ads, and I will do a contract for that. So it's like, hey, we'll spend 10 grand. My equity is earned just from like I'm putting in the resources of building the funnel, driving the marketing, running the ads, and optimizing everything. That's my equity that I'm putting in. You put in the equity of um, you put in the capital. And so if we pass this initial phase, this will be phase one, which is this $10,000 test. If we pass that and we want to continue, awesome. Then everything from there on out will be funded from that account and we'll split everything 50-50 net. So,
I love it. Joel, give us some final thoughts on this workshop. We've had an incredible workshop, by the way, Joel. I've done hundreds of these already with so many people, and this was one of the most exciting ones because this is a new business concept, new business model. There's not a lot of resistance on the small business side because you're not selling services, you're adding on a whole new revenue line. And I've seen you do this for like years. Like I remember coming across your stuff for 2016, so I know you're teaching from a real life experiences, so I'm grateful for this. Joel, final thoughts for those that are watching. What is it that you would tell the person that just started off in digital marketing less than 2 months ago, and also talk to that $100 million agency that's trying to figure out another added layer to the type of businesses that they're offering things to? Speak to both if you don't mind.
yeah, I would like to ask I'll answer that with a question because it's going to be very, very relevant. At the beginning of this training, we asked how many of you guys had taken action and used the lead generation script to start to seed that idea with potential partners. And I would encourage you that if you did that yesterday, sound off in the chat because that is motivation and inspiration for everybody else who maybe didn't tune into day one, or who tuned into day one but didn't take action. So I would like you to please sound off in the chat and say, you know, you know, and just say, hey, I took action yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I got some sort of momentum. Use that as inspiration for everybody else to say, like, this is really what's possible. Because I want you to understand, like, resistance to this model is as low as you can possibly get it with anything agency related. There is the least amount of resistance. In fact, I challenge you that if you're getting resistance from people that you're reaching out to, that is your filter that they are not ideal. Okay. Because if they're super hesitant over whatever you're pitching them for the initial ad spend, whether it's $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, if they're super hesitant with that, then they're most likely not going to be an ideal fit for long-term partnership because they're not growth minded. Like they're still scarcity mindset, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're just it's timing's off for them. But when you find that person that's like, wow, that sounds like a heck of an offer, absolutely, let's do it. Like I'm willing to invest $1,000 to try and build an entirely new revenue stream. Like, how many of you guys would take that offer? Somebody approached you and say, "Hey, you put up $1,000, and we'll try and see. I'll try and see if I'll put in all the effort of like getting it live, and we'll see if we can build a new revenue stream together." Like, how many of you guys would take that offer in a freaking heartbeat, right? So just take that as motivation and inspiration. Now, it's not always going to be easy, right? Sure, we're giving you the snapshots and like we're making it as easy as possible, but there's no better model in my opinion than what we're talking about right here. Digital products at the highest profit margins ever. There's nothing else that I don't think has a higher profit margin than that. A lot of people want to do it, but they don't know how. Why not step into that chasm?
Yep.
Why not step into that uncertainty and you be that provider? You be that strategic partner to help them go from A to Z, A to infinity. So that's where I want to leave off with you today is if not you, then who else is going to do it? You know, why
Yeah.
not you? That's the question that you should say is why not you?
Yeah, I love it. And I'll ask same thing that you did. I'll ask the question for those that didn't take action yet. I would love to know if you're planning on taking action. In the comments, type in I will as an indication to everyone and a commitment that you will take action later on today or tomorrow. Reach out to those people that are around you. So that way you're part of this momentum, part of this movement where we're all in this together as high level family to help you build your business as well. So, Joel, I just want to say thank you to you, your entire team. They've been so amazing to work with. I know you dealt with Ethan, JB, and a couple of other guys as well, and gals in our team. So I'm excited for what's to come. For those of you that want the replays, all these are available in all the social channels. In case if you come across this months from now, there will be offers out there for you to jump into the high level trial. As part of the high level trial, you get the snapshots and all the resources that are part of this. But I appreciate all of you watching. So in the comments, I want you to say, yes, I will take action for those that haven't started yet, just so we know where you are. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next one.
And
Joel,
Paulson, I do want to I want to acknowledge a couple of the people who did comment. Deacon said I talked to a driveway sealer guy this morning. Way to go, Deacon. Congratulations. LaShondra said I took action and got results. Let's freaking go. Super high five to you, LaShondra. Well-balanced CEO said took action and got momentum. That's what it's all about, baby. So congratulations.
yep.
Use that as motivation for everybody else.
I love it. Well, bye for now. Thanks for watching.